And Mal, to dive a little bit deeper into your story, tell us about your South Sea Islander father, your upbringing, his upbringing, and, your family history.
It was a fantastic upbringing, being involved in the South Sea Islander culture, dad's side, and mum was a white Australian, so so I got the best of both worlds. I had an upbringing that was very protective from both, black and white, I guess, so. I grew up in an era where racism was fairly rife, particularly through those schooling years. But it was rich in culture. Really loved the way that the Australian South Sea. While it's a terrible story, the Australian South Sea Islander was based on trickery and black slaves back in the mid-18th century, coming off the islands. Vanuatu, New Caledonia, Solomon Islands, PNG, coming down working the sugarcane industry and in different industries in the Queensland and northern New South Wales area. So, and then part of all that was what they call the White Australia policy, where there was, white assimilation protocols and policies, and my great grandfather was all part of that. So he was a cane cutter, and with the White Australia policy, that was all around deporting them back to their islands, but there was certain conditions that you could stay. My great-grandfather married a white Irish woman. We weren't quite sure about all that, but we found out in my journey that he married for love. They had 6 kids, grew up in the Hervey Bay, Maryborough region, and so it's and then just lovely. They're lovely demeanour about the South Sea Islander people, so they call Vanuatu the Friendly Isles, don't they? So and it's so true, so really proud and and passionate about my Australian South Sea Islander roots.
Yeah, and you can see how passionate you are about your heritage, Mal. And how did that shape you growing up as an athlete? Because I know, I'm Tongan Australian, and like half brown, half white. Yeah. And I know as a teenager, I kind of struggled with that identity of being two and where I kind of fit in, because I wasn't full Tongan, but I wasn't full Aussie. And I know, had to, work through that, finding my identity. And was it similar for you, or?
Well, I didn't find my identity until I was in my 40s.
Wow.
So, because as I mentioned before, I grew up in a protective environment, Dad being Australian South Sea Islander, mum being a white Australian, so I was protected in a way. So, but eventually you try to find your way, you try to find your personal identity. That's why I went on a journey to have a look at where my great-grandfather come from, with the village and stuff. And what I found there's a few things that are innate in me, was that I wanted to make a better life. That was the reason why he jumped off the rocks and swam to the boats, to come to Australia for a better life. And then it was all around the Tannerman, that's where the island where my great-grandfather come from, were renowned for their work ethic. Yeah. So, work ethic, so the question before around perseverance and commitment, really important. And then also found out that he was a leader amongst his community, better work conditions and things like that, when he was working in the cane industry, sugarcane industry. So, being a leader, I think, then made me realise the reasons why I've always been a captain, I guess, but also found out he was a protector in his community, which was a policeman, basically. So when I was 15 years of age, I went and joined the police force, Queensland Police Force, as a cadet, and become a policeman in my early 20s and things like that. So all those things that he was, is innate in me, and it sort of gave me that personal DNA that I was been looking for.
Yeah. Well, it's so fascinating. I feel like, Mal, we could sit here for hours and chat off air, but it's incredible. Thank you so much again for coming on the show and having a chat with us. We really appreciate it.
Well, my pleasure. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes.
Thanks for letting me open up. Yeah. It was really good.
Of course.